Good morning, mixed media friends. I'm super excited to share this ICAD with you. I hope that you have been doing ICADs and that you're enjoying them because I am finding that these small services are such a great way to play around. And even if some of them take me a little bit longer than others, I'm still loving the outcome of them. I'm starting here with an index card. It's 3 inches by 5 inches. It has already been pre-gessoed. I gessoed a whole lot of them at one time. And then I got out my favorite Dina Wakley colors. This is a heavy body paint that Dina Wakley designed for Ranger ink, and I adore it. I have just put some down on my underpaper. I'm using the lime, the turquoise, and the blush color. The lime and turquoise came from the first release, and blush is from her second release with them. And I'm just applying it to my card in a fairly thick manner. You'll see I switched from my fingers to my paintbrush so that I could actually make the paint thicker on purpose. And then I spritzed my paint with water while it was still wet. Then I'm getting out my heat gun and I'm going to dry the paint only for a short amount of time because I want the paint where there's no water to be dry so that when I put down this piece of scrap paper, then the paint that was under the water droplets is still wet. And it comes up and leaves these like big voids, and it's very cool. It's a cool technique. It's pretty unique to acrylic because oils don't react with water that way. Like you don't really add, water to oils to keep them wet extra long and things like that. So watercolor doesn't work that way. It's pretty cool. This part here that I'm doing now, I end up not liking this, and I've been told, and I hope it doesn't make me look like a novice here, I've been told that people like to see the steps that you don't necessarily love in your projects because it just proves that we're all not perfect 100% of the time. And so what I did was I used one of my favorite Unwell Studio stencils, and I added 3 kind of like scallop shapes to the edge of this card. And when I did it, there was intention. I was going to kind of just mix media this whole card, and I was taking the teal and running it further into the green, and I was going to make a more cohesive piece. And so that's what I started doing. That's why I picked the teal and the stencil, and then I cut some canvas circles that were smaller than the scallops I had put on there, and I glued those down with matte medium. It's heavy matte gel. And then I trimmed them up so that they were flush with the edge of the card. Then I was kind of looking at it, and I thought, all right, that canvas color is not meshing very well yet, so why don't I add in some smaller white pieces? And I did like it. It was okay. And I let it dry, and then I looked at it, and then I didn't like it. So I decided I will get out a second index card, and I will cut those scallops out. And I loved that. I loved that look of those hollow scallops there. So I thought, why don't I just make some funky scallops the whole rest of the way down the edge of the card and glue that down. And I loved that. That was really fun to me. So then I got out my Yoo-Hoo glue stick, and I glued that card right down the colored card to the white card. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, totally done. And it looks totally killer. So now I have all this beautiful color, and I have this beautiful stark white. What do I need? Now I need some black. So I did some black stitching all the way around the edge, and I also did some free-form stitching inside the scallops. Now when I do free-form stitching, it's with my machine that does not have a free-form stitching foot, so it's really hard. So after doing this, and I've done some free-form stitching, and so I should put that in quotes, before with my machine, I decided to go out and buy a free-form stitching foot. So as soon as that gets here, I'm totally going to do some experimenting on my ICADs with that. This is one of my favorite stamps I designed for Viva Las Vegas stamps, and all the supplies will be linked below, so don't forget that. I stamped this stamp in Archival ink by Ranger, and I picked one of the newer colors. It's black soot, so it's a true black, and it is really great. I did that. I stamped that, and I purposely put those going off the page, and then using my black Posca paint pen, I did some handwriting on the outside of the circles, and then I put a few dots in there. Right here, I just made some marks with a white Sharpie, and what I really wanted was to stitch in there some white DMC floss, but of all, I have this huge bag of colors that one of my friends gifted me, and then of course I bought my own DMC floss whenever I'm at the craft store. I just pick up a couple extra colors, but I don't have white, and I really wanted white, so I did some mark making with the marker and the paint marker, and I liked everything except for the marks that I made on the insides of the circles. So I came back in with some heavy gesso and I filled those up. And that's it. So from there, I'll just dry it and I will cut some book text and glue it in the circles. That part I didn't make to video. All right. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow and for another ICAD. And that's it. Thank you. Oh, P.S. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. You can join me in my Facebook group and all around the web. I have Instagram and Pinterest and on my blog and website. And I'd be excited to connect with you. Now, thank you so much for being here. We'll see you again.